Good afternoon. I don't usually do these types of videos, but I wanted to speak out on something. Recently, Disney has acquired Fox, and over the last few years, Marvel and Star Wars. I have seen many videos from many channels I am both subscribed and not subscribed to, calling for the government to come in and break up Disney, citing they are too powerful, socially engineering their viewers, and all around being morally corrupt people. I don't like Disney, but I don't think the government has legal grounds to operate yet. Disney has swollen to epic proportions certainly after consuming Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Fox. Do I like it? No. Disney is certainly dangerous. They have so much power and money it's terrifying. However, I don't believe that they are a monopoly. I don't believe they are large enough or legally violated laws when it comes to murders to justify the government coming in and breaking them up. So let's take a look at the federal antitrust laws. These laws are implemented on the federal and state level to regulate the conduct and organization of business in a manner to promote fair competition for the benefit of consumers. That out of the way, let's look at the first of the two major antitrust laws implemented by Congress. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, which we will abbreviate to SATA for the purposes of this video, was established by Congress as part of its power delegated by the Constitution to regulate interstate commerce. Is Disney exporting goods and entertainment nationwide? Yes. The SATA is divided up into two sections of possible violations. Section 1 violates an agreement, unreasonably restrains competition, and affects interstate commerce. Section 2, the possession of monopoly power in the relevant market and the willful acquisition or maintenance of that power as distinguished from growth of development as a consequence of superior product, business, acumen, or historic accident. So let's unpack this a bit. So Disney can be in violation of Section 1 or 2 by having such an unreasonable grip on power that no competition can operate. This means no other producer, director, actor can be attached to a movie not run in some significant fashion by Disney. No TV show or streaming service can operate unless being Disney property. And practically every dollar spent on a movie, TV show, streaming service nationwide is going into Disney's pocket. Are any of these points reasonably true? While Disney's net worth is estimated to be about $100 to $130 billion, and owns the top 27% of the film industry. While Detective Comics' net worth isn't out there, plenty of people put the company's net worth estimate at $4 to $6 billion in total. Paramount Pictures is valued at $4 billion, Lionsgate is at $4.1 billion, and Sony Pictures has a deal value of about $30 billion. That's pretty small, but Warner Brothers' net worth is put at $85 billion. Now, does Disney have competition? Certainly, combining these companies' worth, that puts it at $127 to $129 billion, rivaling Disney's $100 to $130 billion. So, can actors and actresses go to different entertainment companies for deals? Yes. Is Disney unreasonably restraining competition? No. While it may be difficult for a DC movie to compete against an Avengers movie, Disney is not unreasonably shutting down competition. You could argue that DC movies aren't making as much money when competing against a Disney film, but that may be a byproduct of things like garbage writing, production, and other behind-the-scenes issues. Is Disney monopolizing the streaming service? No, as Disney Plus hasn't even released yet. Netflix is operating at a $152.7 billion market capitalization value, or the worth of the company's shares. Meanwhile, all of Disney's shares run at $152.3 billion. Is every dollar going to Disney from every form of revenue? No, as an almost equal portion goes to just 5 companies outside of Disney when it comes to movies. Disney toy sales have actually gone down with Star Wars failing. Only a potential revival in classic prequel trilogy toys will save Disney Star Wars on the toy shelves. Netflix, HBO, and Amazon Prime all dominate the streaming service as well. Is Disney in violation of SATA beyond a reasonable doubt? No. The next act to be looked at is the Clayton Act of 1914. There could be certain loopholes or vague language that could be exploited by lawyers in the SATA, so the Clayton Act was produced to reinforce it. This act serves to strengthen antitrust legislation by preventing anti-competitive mergers, predatory discriminatory pricing, and other forms of unethical corporate behavior. So let's unpack this act. Anti-competitive mergers are acquisitions of companies that can be harmful to competition, in particular some mergers by dominant companies that could lead to a competitive market into one that is not. Predatory discriminatory pricing is illegally setting prices so low as to eliminate competition. While the SATA wanted to outlaw monopolies, the Clayton Act was meant to prevent them from even forming. Here, Disney may have violated sections of the Clayton Act. One could argue that with the mergers of Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Fox into one company, that it has turned the competitive market into one that isn't. Disney certainly is the largest company to dominate the film industry, outpacing its competition by tens of billions of dollars. However, there still is significant competition to be had, and thus a competitive market. Is Disney trying to shut down their opponents? Of course. Is it doing so in an illegal, unjust manner? There's enough reasonable doubt to say no, but potentially yes someday in the future. Is Disney engaging in predatory or discriminatory pricing? Potentially. There is a gray area that exists in regards to pricing. Of course, competition is going to lower prices to attract more customers. That is a fundamental function of a competitive market to work. However, where do we draw the line? The government cannot and should not ever have the power to put price minimums on all forms of product. Imagine how many different types of things are produced anyway. Disney Plus, which releases in November, is $7 for a subscription. That is half of HBO's subscription cost. That could be predatory pricing, but who says it should be half is where the Clayton Act is violated. What about the sales in stores? Is Walmart violating the Clayton Act by selling one of its many products on sale when Target isn't? Excellent arguments could be made for both sides, but beyond a reasonable doubt, is Disney engaging in predatory pricing or violating any part of the Clayton Acts? Well, no. Beyond a reasonable doubt, is Disney a monopoly in violation of the SATA and/or Clayton Acts? No. Should Disney be broken up by the government? From what I've just presented, no. There is certainly a spirited argument that could be made to break up the megacorporation. There may have been a clause, law, or section I have missed, but from the research I have gathered, there is no violation beyond a reasonable doubt. Gray areas, certainly. I do fully think the government should keep a close eye on Disney, especially since they are growing ever powerful. There certainly is the possibility in the future for Disney to be broken up. Right now, however, again, beyond a reasonable doubt, no. I do not pretend to be an expert in federal antitrust laws or capitalist economies. I'm just a 2-year college student in history, and I'm a concerned fan worried that Disney is becoming too powerful and abusing its power. It's a bad taste in my mouth to even possibly defend Disney. But are they a monopoly that deserves to be broken up by the government? No. I thank you all for listening to this, and if anyone feels like discussing this, I am more than open to others' opinions and learning new things. I hope you consider subscribing for future content. I plan on doing media reviews of videos and TV shows and more historical videos. Thank you.